Hello and welcome. I'm Hawthorne and this is the Paper Graveyard. We're doing something a little different today. I have pulled out a stamp set from Lail by Mail. If you are unfamiliar, I would highly recommend her YouTube channel. She has so many fun stamps, so many fun products, love them. And that particular stamp set is called About Last Month. I believe it's the one from 2025. She releases a new one of those every year. And the collection I'm playing with is Color Me Happy from Simple Stories. It's got all these fun, bright, almost neon colors. And normally, I don't know how I'd feel about all the bright neon, like if I was decorating my house with it, but I can totally decorate a page with it. I'm trying a new style of scrapbooking in general, mainly because I realized my memory is absolute garbage, and the scrapbooking pages that I've been making for the last 10 years do not have an abundance of journaling. So I am attempting to shift some of my memory keeping focus into something that just incorporates a little more journaling and a little more of just daily life. So I'm calling this my daily creative journal. It is very heavily inspired by Julie over at Plan to Create. I cannot pronounce her last name. I'm not even going to try, but her name is Julie and she's amazing. So please go check out her channel. And I wanted a little home base for my number 1 there, just like I've got for my other numbers. So I just used a little cut apart card from the 6x8 paper pack and tucked the icon that was already there under my little old timey phone. And next I'm going to pull out this enormous 7 stamp. That is from Ali Edwards. I don't remember which set, but I think it might still be on her website if you're interested in that. Love that number set. It's just so wildly large for a stamp. It's one of the largest number sets I have, I think. And then the March, I also pulled from the About Last Month. So that's from the same set as the 1, 2, 3. And I am pulling out a insanely pink ink color. That is Picked Raspberry from Distress Oxide. And I'm just holding up that die cut against my swatches to see what color I want to use for March. I am going to end up using sort of a green color, like if mint were goth. That's kind of what this color is. But first, we're going to do this neon pink. Totally feels like Barbie, which I'm not mad about. But I really wanted to pull out the pink from like the Good Stuff on the right-hand side and some of the other die cuts that are strewn across my desk. You can see that bright pink color. So now we're coming up with the Goth Mint color. I believe I used Evergreen Bough from Distress Oxide again. That's what most of my ink colors are right now. But I do want to delve into some other brands. So if you've got any recommendations, drop a comment. Let me know what your favorite ink brands are. All right, I'm going to come in with my black ink. I thought about using a color, but I already have so much color going on that I decided to use the numbers and just black. So I'm using VersaFine ink. It works really well. I've had it for a while. I'll probably keep using it until it's dead because it's a nice black ink. I feel like I get a good solid impression out of it. So I'm going to stamp my 2 on the little typewriter. It's the perfect little spot for a stamp. And I'm going to add the 3 onto that Good Stuff, which I believe is also a cut apart from the 6x8 paper pad. So it's good fun. Love it. They have a lot of fun cut aparts in that pack. So I'm pulling in another stamp set from Ali Edwards. I do not remember what this one is called, but I do believe it is sold out on her website. So if you love it, I'm sorry, it's too late. But it has both a sans serif font and also sort of a typewriter style, which is the one I'm using here. And I'm going to stamp out Crafty Zoom. I joined in on one of those that Julie from Plan to Create hosted. And it was so fun to there weren't very many of us, so we were able to just kind of chat about our crafty lives and the projects we're working on and all sorts of fun stuff. And there was something about the idea of doing a Zoom with an old-timey phone that was wildly funny to me. So you can see I've added a few things in the interim. I was trying to tone down that insanely bright 7, so I added a little black die cut that says Awesome Sauce, I think. And I'm also going to tuck a little piece of torn paper underneath just to kind of tone down all that brightness. And I also stamped hello on that little yellow die cut. And let's see, I pulled out an arrow. I believe that arrow is also from Lail by Mail, from her In the Envelope set. And I'm going to do a few of these little arrows scattered throughout, just to kind of point to like, hey, this title refers to this journaling. And I'm going to stamp another title. I really have been enjoying with this style of memory keeping. I've really been enjoying using the same stamp set to type out multiple titles. And it takes a while because I'm stamping each letter individually, but I do think it's worth it, at least to me. It's kind of, I don't know, almost relaxing to do something as monotonous as stamping out a whole title. And later I am also going to stamp some Hozier lyrics on that number 3 card because I can't resist. I love Hozier. He's wonderful. And we're finally going to come in with some actual journaling. In real time, this was probably like 2 hours later. So you're welcome for shortening this down to under 10 minutes because, like I said, I spent an embarrassing amount of time just kind of fussing around with things and making little adjustments and pulling die cuts in and taking them off and being indecisive. So I like to say that staring is an important part of my creative process because I spend so much time just not even doing anything, just staring and trying to figure out what to do next. So this stamp set that I pulled out is actually a Christmas stamp, and Ghost is going to interrupt, so thanks, Ghost. I managed to convince him to go over to the side of my desk so that I could still work. Anyway, but I still had to move stuff over to accommodate his extremely fluffy tail. Back to this Christmas stamp, though. It had a little stamp that said Happy Heart, which, even though it's technically for Christmas, I feel like that fits, you know, even for this very non-Christmassy layout. So here I am stamping yet another title with this stamp set. I seriously debated how much of this stamping to include, and I did cut most of it, but looking back, I'm like, oh man, maybe I should have cut even more. This is so embarrassing, like how much time I spent just stamping. Oh, I did do some off camera, so that adulting and the UGG. I love the UGG. It cracks me up. That is also from a Leal by Mail stamp set. That is the Bad Day set, and it has lots of fun, naughty words and just sarcastic sayings, and I love it. Now we're coming strong with the Hozier lyrics. It's one of my favorite songs. I know it's kind of a classic of his, and it should be, honestly, because it's delightful. But we did have some friends over, and we did have some whiskey neat, so it felt very appropriate to have this particular Hozier quote on here. So I'm going to just come in with my last little bit of journaling about having our friends over, drinking that whiskey while we just chatted and hung out. And I think we're about done, finally. Yes, we're finally done. My goodness, this took so long, but here we are, all finished. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you back again next time. And as a reward, here's some Ghost content. Thank you for staying, thank you for watching, and have a great day.